Hi, thanks for checking out one of our videos here. This is going to be a test and review video on an old style Gallagher M800. This model was built from, they actually had a BEV3 version before it, but it was the same guts as a different sticker. So Gallagher Snell BEV3. That was a predecessor name-wise to this one, but that was in the mid-80s to the late 80s, and about 1990 they came out with this sticker and this look. But the guts were the same as the BEV3, as the M800. Same guts, just different sticker. And it was around from about, basically from about 85, 84, 86, all the way to about 2005, or so maybe 2006 at the latest, but probably about 2005. So it had about a 30 or about a 20-year run. So it was about a 40-year-old design on this particular model. Even though this unit's a 1998 model, the design's was about 20 years before that, roughly, or 10 years before that. But we're going to test the joules with this tester here. We're going to look at the peak kilovolts as well as the joules output of the thing based on the different loads, what maxes out at, what we can get the max out at. This is a 8 stored joule, and on average for most brands their output joules is usually between 50 and 70% of the stored joules. It really depends on the basically the efficiency of the transformer and how well is it built, because you're never going to get 100% in, 100% out. So if it's 8 stored joules in, or on the charged up in the capacitor, you're not going to get 8 joules out. This is like horsepower on a vehicle or a tractor. You've got a 50 horsepower tractor engine, you might have 35 horsepower at the PTO. Or say you got a 500 horsepower engine, you might have 375, 450, or whatever at the wheels. You're never going to have 100% efficiency because there's always loss between different things on the inside. So we're going to test to see what the output joules of this unit is. So we did repair this unit. It is firing and working good. We didn't use this tester to do that final test. We used the regular fence tester to do that, and it was doing fine. We did a ground fault test on as well. So we'll plug it in here. It's clicking along. Actually, let's turn it off real quick. And we'll put this, put our leads for this meter into the ground and fence terminals. I'm just going to put it right there. I'm going to use the knob to kind of help hold it there, so that way we can use our hands to play with the leads up top there and a switch up there and everything. Alright, so let's see, we'll turn this on. Turn it all the way to no load. We're on joules and kV, so we're ready to go there. So let's fire this up. So we're sitting at about 7,000 volts. Let's see what the pulse speed is. It pulses about every 1.1 seconds. And the shock itself, when it's being delivered on the fence, it's only lasting 0.18 of a second, which is 180 milliseconds, which is 0.18 seconds. So not very long. It's on there for that little tick noise. A little shock itself on the fence is only lasting that long, but it's pulsing every 1.1 seconds. And voltage wise, it's peaking out at 7,000 volts. Most brands kind of fluctuate between 6,000 to 9,000 volts, roughly on average. All right, we're on no load, so let's move this over to 1,000 ohms. And right now we're at 3.8 output joules. It dropped down to 5.5 kV, so lost about 1,500 volts with this kind of load on it. But now it's doing a little bit of work. It's reading 3.8 joules output, so it's almost 50%. Let's move this over to 500 ohm load. Now we're at the 5.2 joules output, so now when we drop down another 500 volts, we're reading about 5,000 volts at 5.2 joules output. Now we're getting to the heavier loads up here, with 200 ohm. We went down a little bit more, down to 3.7 kV, and we're now at 5.5, so that's We've gone up a little bit more from what we were at 500, but not by a whole lot, so we're probably starting to max it out. So we had a pretty big jump from there to there, but not as much jump from here to here, from the between 500 and 200 ohm. Let's go to 100 ohm load. It's a pretty heavy load. We've gone past its threshold now, so we're at 2.5 kV and at 4.6 joules. So it actually went down in joules and went to a little bit heavier load. So 5.5 was about max we got out of it. Now if we had like 150 ohm load somewhere in between, maybe it would have got like 5.7, joules. So it's not quite a 6 joule unit, but it's 5.5 joule output. So pretty stout little unit. So we'll go back up to 200 ohm load, and we'll see what 5.5 joules output at 3.7 kV. So it's a little light down there, maybe hard to see, but it is flashing every time. It takes about 3,000 volts to make that little red light flash, and we're at 3.7. You may not be able to see it in the video. The camera's not picking it up, or the glare overhead's not allowing it to show up real good, but it's just flashing every single time. So turn that off. Turn this off. So it's a pretty good old school unit. These old Gallagher M800 are really, really well made. They're just take a lick and keep on kicking kind of thing. So we'll get this boxed up. We'll call the customer up, give them the quote on. I haven't called them yet. Want to make the video real quick. I got lots and lots and lots of repair videos on these old units. So, but if you got one of these old Gallagher units, Gallagher themselves don't fix them much anymore. We do a lot of repairs on these old ones. They just if they can't just part swap things out, they just throw them away until you buy a new one. But new ones are $400, give or take, and fixing these is usually a lot less. So we rebuild the boards on them. We retrofit transformers into them from other brands, and then we've occasionally we got the custom built one that we can install in there if we have them in stock. And then we've got capacitors for other brands will work in this thing, no problem either as well. So there's our information. I'd appreciate it if you'd like to subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button if you'd like to as well. And until next time, we'll see you later on.